In the wild, a predator doesn't just attack the first animal it sees. It watches. It looks for the slight limp, the hesitant step, the one that keeps looking back to the herd for permission to move. Human predators, the manipulators, the gaslighters, the emotional vampires, work exactly the same way. They don't have a magic spell that works on everyone. In fact, they are terrified of about 10% of the population. Why? Because those people have closed the door. Most people think manipulation is something that happens to them. They think they are victims of a mastermind. But the brutal truth of dark psychology is this: manipulation is a bridge that requires two supports to stand. The first is the manipulator's intent. The second is your own self-doubt. Without your doubt, their bridge collapses into the water. Today, we are going deep into the psychology of the open door. I'm going to show you exactly how manipulators test your self-doubt, why your need to be good is making you a target, and the 3 psychological shifts you must make to become completely unmanipulatable. The locus of control. In psychology, we talk about the locus of control.
People with an internal locus believe they are the architects of their own reality. If someone calls them selfish, they check their internal records. If the records say, "I am a fair person," the comment is dismissed as noise. It has no grip. But people who doubt themselves have an external locus of control. They outsource their identity. They look at the person across from them to tell them if they are good, if they are smart, or if they are too sensitive. The vacancy. A manipulator is a psychological squatter. They look for vacant areas in your self-esteem. If you aren't 100% sure of your own value, they will move in and define it for you. When you doubt your memory, your feelings, or your boundaries, you're essentially handing a stranger the remote control to your nervous system. You aren't being nice, you are being vacant. The thin slice testing phase. A manipulator never starts with a big lie. They start with thin slices, tiny microscopic tests to see if you doubt yourself. Test 1, the joking insult. They'll say something slightly offensive, then follow it with, "I'm just kidding, don't be so sensitive." What they're looking for: will you apologize for being offended? If you laugh nervously or apologize, you've just told them, "My feelings aren't valid if you don't approve of them." You passed the test. Test 2, the martyr move. They take on a task you didn't ask them to do, then sigh loudly about how exhausted they are.
What they're looking for: will you take responsibility for their choice? If you jump in to fix their mood or feel guilty, they now know that guilt is a lever they can pull to make you do anything. The boundary poke. They'll ask for something small that crosses a line, like calling you late at night or asking for a favor they should handle themselves. What they're looking for: will you say no without an explanation? If you provide a long list of excuses for why you can't help, they know you are defending yourself. And if you are defending, you are doubting your right to say no. The body language of certainty. Let's talk about the mastery tactics of the elite. Why do high-value individuals rarely get manipulated? It's not because they are smarter, it's because they move differently. In dark psychology, we know that anxiety moves fast. When you doubt yourself, your heart rate increases. You talk faster to try and convince the other person. You move your hands more. You upspeak, ending your sentences like a question, as if asking for permission to speak.
The stillness rule. Manipulators thrive on your reactivity. If they can get you to move, they can get you to follow. Think about the master archetype. A king doesn't rush. A PhD researcher doesn't stumble over their data. They are dangerously certain. Slow your speech by 10%. Stop the head tilt. Tilting your head is a submissive gesture in mammals. It exposes the neck. Keep your head level. The power of the silence. When a manipulator says something designed to make you doubt yourself, don't defend. Just look at them. Wait 3 full seconds before responding. This power gap signals that their words didn't enter your system. They stopped at your skin. Embracing the shadow. The biggest reason people doubt themselves is because they are afraid of being the bad guy. Manipulators use your own goodness as a cage. They say things like, "A good friend would do this," or "I thought you were a kind person." Because you doubt your own goodness, you try to prove it to them by complying. The fix? Become the villain. To be unmanipulatable, you must be comfortable with someone thinking you are selfish, cold, or mean. Carl Jung called this the shadow. If you don't own your ability to be mean, you are not good, you are just harmless. There is a difference. A person who is harmless is a victim. A person who is dangerous but keeps their sword sheathed is a master. The moment you accept that you don't need to be liked by everyone, the manipulator loses their only weapon, your need for their approval. When you stop fearing that opinion of you, you stop doubting your own worth.
The mirror pause. I want to leave you with one tactical move you can use tomorrow. I call it the mirror pause. Next time someone tries to gaslight you or make you feel guilty for a boundary, do not argue. Do not bring up facts. Instead, look them in the eye, stay perfectly still, and ask, is that how you really feel, or is that just what you say when you want to control the conversation? This is a pattern interrupt. It forces the manipulator to look into a mirror. It signals that you are no longer a puppet looking for approval, but an observer looking at their tactics. Manipulation only works in the dark. The moment you bring the light of your own certainty into the room, the manipulator has to find a new door, because yours is now locked. Self-doubt is a habit, but so is certainty. If you're ready to stop being the one who apologizes for existing, hit the like button. It tells the algorithm that this content matters. Subscribe to master the mind before it masters you. I'll see you in the shadows.